So this week I pulled out some new hyped up fragrances. So stay tuned to find out what fragrances I wore this week. So if you aren't familiar with my weekly fragrance rotation, what I do is I talk about what fragrances I chose to wear on each day, what kind of weather it was, how many sprays, and if we got any compliments or not on that particular fragrance. So let's start it off on Sunday. All right, so on Sunday, it was in the low 70s, cloudy day, but on that day I actually went to this Elvis concert. It was kind of like a tribute to Elvis. And the fragrance I chose for the concert is, of course, a Mancera that I haven't worn in quite some time. Of course, I'm talking about black gold. Now, this is highly underrated from the house of Mancera. It's actually a very good kind of floral oud, but when I say that, I'm not talking about like a rose oud combination that's so outplayed. You get some lavender in here, you get some spices. Of course, you do get that Mancera signature oud in the composition as well. Now, on that day to go to the concert, I did go 8 sprays of black gold, which may be overkill because this stuff is not weak by any means. It definitely does have that Mancera potency for sure, but yeah, that's what I chose to wear on Sunday to the concert is, of course, black gold. All right, so on Monday, I was actually at home. I didn't work on Monday or nothing like that, so I didn't really do much. So what I decided to do for Monday is have a scent-free day and just kind of like heal my skin, because obviously when you wear fragrance on the same part of your body every single day for a long time, it definitely dries out your skin, even when you apply lotion, because you're just applying a fragrance after that dries it up. So I pretty much had a scent-free day to heal up my skin, moisturize, because lately it feels like I have alligator skin, which is not good for fragrances. It will just eat up the fragrance and not project and not have good longevity. So yeah, just let me know down below if you guys actually use days without fragrances. I know it's hard. It was definitely hard to do on that day, but yeah, it was much needed for my skin to stay healthy. Okay, so on Tuesday, it wasn't actually that nice of a day. I think it was in the high 60s. We are going to fall, of course, which is, by the way, my favorite season for fragrances. But on Tuesday, I was back at work after my much long vacation that I took. So the fragrance I chose was actually a brand new hyped up niche house. Of course, I'm talking about Mind Games, and this is As-Sull's Diamond. Now, Mind Games, I've been so impressed with of course, Grandmaster, which I talked about in the last weekly fragrance rotation, and I just had to pull this one out for the first time, of course. Now, on that day, I did go 5 sprays to work, got no compliments, but man, As-Sull's Diamonds, As-Sull's Diamonds, I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a very kind of herbal, green, smoky incense fragrance. Has a phenomenal fig opening. Of course, you have that herbal green cypress note in here, and you get a smoky incense. But man, the quality of Mind Games is so impressive, and trust me, this is the next big thing in the fragrance community when it comes to niche perfumery. Highly recommend checking this house out. On Wednesday, also at work, it was in the high 70s, so a little bit nicer than on Tuesday, which was a good thing. And I chose to wear a hyped up fragrance. Of course, I'm talking about Alexandria's Black Panther, which is inspired by Bulgari's Tiger, which is extremely expensive. But with Black Panther, this is a phenomenal citrus, grapefruit opening fragrance with some ambroxan and some woody notes. Very simple note breakdown, but it is just so good and it works. Now, on that day on Wednesday, I did go 6 sprays of Black Panther, got no compliments, but wow, this stuff is so strong. I barely even went nose blind to it. I smelled it throughout the entire day. And I just love Black Panther. I love Tiger, but I gotta say Black Panther is so similar with even better performance. So I've talked about Alexandria fragrances so many times, and it's for a very good reason. Definitely check this house out. Okay, so for Thursday, also at work, but then after work, I went out shopping and went out to dinner and stuff like that. And the fragrance I chose, because it was also a little bit warmer, it was a nice sunny day actually, in the high 70s. I wore, of course, Paco Rabanne's 1 million Parfum. Now, Paco Rabanne has done so many flankers of 1 million. Of course, you have Privé, Lucky, Parfum, Elixir, the original. You have like Cologne, you have Intense, just so many. But the Parfum is definitely one of my favorites, not my favorite. And I'm also not the biggest fan of the original DNA of 1 million. I think it's just way too sweet and it's way overplayed in my opinion. But the 1 million flanker, it has a very kind of sunny vibe to it for some reason, with some white florals. It's a little bit different from the rest of the line for sure, but just the way Paco Rabanne did with this fragrance is very nice. So on that day I did 6 sprays and no compliments, but this stuff is a powerhouse. Definitely one of the strongest from the 1 million line, even though the original is a beast mode fragrance as well. But yeah, that's what I chose for Thursday to go shopping, work, and out to dinner is 1 million parfum. So for Friday, also at work, and it was in like the 80s, even though it was cloudy out, but it was pretty warm. And I actually chose to wear a clone or an inspired by version of one of my favorite Tom Ford private blends. Of course, I'm talking about Oud Wood. And this is coming from Lunar and Code Wood Oud, or Woody, I don't even know how you pronounce that or say it. It's Wood Oud, I guess you say it, but man, I gotta tell you, this is the best clone of Oud Wood that I've ever tested by far. It actually kind of has that old school, older batches of Oud Wood rather than the new ones, which is a great thing. The performance of this stuff actually blew me away. Of course, it is an extrait de parfum as well. This is a new clone house that I haven't heard of prior to getting this bottle. And if you guys want to check them out, they have phenomenal prices. I think get like 55 mils for 65 bucks, but I actually have a discount code Hunter15 just to get you an extra 15% off. So definitely check them out. But on that day, I did go 6 sprays and no compliments, but man, it actually kind of hurts to say how good this fragrance is compared to obviously Oud Wood, because Oud Wood is so beloved to me. I love that private blend and always will, but this one is just phenomenal. Okay, so wrapping the week off on Saturday, I actually chose to wear a brand new fragrance in my collection as well. First time wearing it, first time ever discovering this house as well. Of course, I'm talking about Qoteque Impetus. Now, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce the name, but this is a fairly new niche house, I suppose, that haven't been around that long, but man, I am impressed from what I've tested so far from this house. With Impetus, when I first got this in, it did kind of remind me of another fragrance, but I could not pinpoint it. And later on, I come to a conclusion on what that fragrance was. Of course, it was Amber Oud Gold Edition, or of course, Zaharoff Herba Pear. It's very fruity. It actually has a note of lychees, which is usually found in women's fragrances such as like Very Good Girl by Carolina Herrera, and of course Parfums de Malis Delina. So it is actually a lychee fragrance that a man can definitely pull off, and they did such a great job. Now, on that day, it was in the 80s, sunny day as well, and I did go 6 sprays of Impetus, so not too heavy, and this fragrance was pretty strong as well. No complaints at all from the performance, so this might be a house that you want to keep your eyes out on. I will talk about some others from the house as well, but so far with Impetus, I am so impressed. But that's going to wrap it up for my weekly fragrance rotation. You guys already know the drill. Leave a comment down below the fragrances you chose to wear throughout the week. If you got any compliments, you know, that kind of stuff. But as usual, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch all you guys in the next upload. Take care, everybody.